Shalom, Israel. Grace and blessings from God the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ be unto you. All praises to the Most High. That we made it another week learning the Word. And I was not able to finish out Jeremiah last week because we were keeping a new moon. So all praises to the Most High for that. We were keeping it with joyfulness and gladness. But this week, I do want to try to finish the book of Jeremiah out. So let me just go ahead and check. Make sure everything's functioning properly. How are we looking? Here on YouTube. How are we looking? How are we sounding? All that. Here on YouTube. How are we looking? How are we sounding? Okay. Praise the Most High. Let me look at Facebook. We should be good on Facebook if we're good on YouTube. Out. So let me just go ahead and check. Make sure everything's functioning properly. How are we looking? Okay. Praise the Most High. All right. So I'm going to cut this on silent. And I'll go ahead and start how we start every week on learning the Word with 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. Let me go ahead and bring this down too. There we go. 2 Timothy chapter 2. Let me scroll down to verse 15. It says, "Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." That's the aim, that's the goal, is to rightly divide the word of truth. I don't know if I asked y'all to forgive me for my tardiness, but I was a bit tardy getting setting up the lesson. So y'all forgive me on that front. I do want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, and I do so by His Holy Ghost. Okay, so all praises to the Most High for all things. Let's go ahead and start where we left off a couple weeks ago with Jeremiah 32. Now, mostly what I'm going to cover here in Jeremiah 32 through 52, because it's 20 chapters. So I'm mostly going to cover the history and not the prophecy, because there's a lot of history that goes on here that I don't want to skip over. So I want to point out what happened with Jeremiah, what happened as he was being persecuted by his own people that he tried to give the word of the Lord to, and they persecuted him. All right. So I want to touch on that. There's going to be a sprinkling of prophecies here and there, but I'm going to be jumping around even more this week than I have in previous weeks. So y'all bear with me. All right. So Jeremiah 32, starting with verse 1, it says, "The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord in the 10th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, which was the 18th year of Nebuchadnezzar." Right. So keep this in mind. Jeremiah 32 through 52, not all of it is in chronological order. There is a section that I want to read that's like chapters 39 through 44, maybe 45. That is chronological. I think it's through 44, but it could be through 45. All right. But anyway, it says this took place in the 10th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah. "For then the king of Babylon's army besieged Jerusalem, and Jeremiah the prophet was shut up in the court of the prison," and we're going to get into that later as far as like how he got imprisoned, all right, "which was in the king of Judah's house. For Zedekiah king of Judah had shut him up, saying, Wherefore dost thou prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will give this city into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall take it," right? So that's why they arrested him for prophesying against the wickedness of Judah, all right. "And Zedekiah king of Judah shall not escape out of the hand of the Chaldeans, but shall surely be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon, and shall speak with him mouth to mouth, and his eyes shall behold his eyes. And he shall lead Zedekiah to Babylon, and there shall he be until I visit him, saith the Lord. Though ye fight with the Chaldeans, ye shall not prosper." Right? And it's a question because Zedekiah is asking, why are you saying all this? Right? And Jeremiah said, "The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Behold, Hanamel, the son of Shalom, thine uncle, shall come unto thee, saying, Buy thee my field that is in Anathoth, for the right of redemption is thine to buy it. So Hanamel, mine uncle's son, came to me in the court of the prison, according to the word of the Lord, and said unto me, Buy my field, I pray thee, that is in Anathoth, which is in the country of Benjamin. For the right of inheritance is thine, and the redemption is thine, buy it for thyself. Then I knew that this was the word of the Lord. Right? He knew it was of God because he knew it was going to happen, and then it happened. Right? The Most High revealed to him it was going to happen beforehand. And I bought the field of Hanamel, my uncle's son, that was in Anathoth, and weighed him the money, even 17 shekels of silver. And I subscribed the evidence and sealed it, and took witnesses, and weighed him the money in the balances. So I took the evidence of the purchase, both that which was sealed according to the law and custom, and that which was open. And I gave the evidence of the purchase unto Baruch, the son of Neriah, the son of Maaseiah, in the sight of Hanamel, mine uncle's son, and in the presence of the witnesses that subscribed the book of the purchase, before all the Jews that sat in the court of the prison. And I charged Baruch before them, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Take these evidences, this evidence of the purchase, both which is sealed, and this evidence which is open, and put them in an earthen vessel, that they may continue many days. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, houses and fields and vineyards shall be possessed again in this land. Right, so this is a sign that, hey, after 70 years, the people will return. As we read in, I believe it was a couple weeks ago, could have been 3 weeks ago, when he first mentioned the 70 years. But also, I don't believe before this chapter Baruch was ever mentioned. But this is the same Baruch that has the book of Baruch. All that is pretty much inspired by Jeremiah as well. The letter of Jeremiah is in the back of the book of Baruch, right? And Baruch is kind of like his understudy, so to speak. All right. Good stuff, of course. Good stuff all around as far as the scriptures. Read them on your own time. I'm going to keep going here. Because again, there's 20 chapters to cover. I'm not going to be able to cover everything. I'm going to jump down here in Jeremiah 33. I'll jump down to verse 14. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will perform that good thing which I have promised unto the house of Israel and to the house of Judah. In those days and at that time will I cause the branch of righteousness to grow up unto David. He shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. All right, we talked about that in Jeremiah 23 when we read that. I believe that was 2 weeks ago. And that is referring to Christ. In those days shall Judah be saved, and Jerusalem shall dwell safely. And this is the name wherewith she shall be called, the Lord our righteousness. Right, Jerusalem will be called, the Lord our righteousness, the city, right, the city of God, essentially. For thus saith the Lord, David shall never want a man to sit upon the throne of the house of Israel, meaning never lack. All right, David's seed will always rule in Jerusalem. Neither shall the priests, the Levites, lack or want a man before me to offer burnt offerings and to kindle meat offerings and to do sacrifice continually. That's heavy right there. All right, that's heavy. Because the Levites, guess what? They're going to still be offering sacrifices. We're going to be offering sacrifices in the kingdom. All right, it is what it is. And the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah, saying, Thus saith the Lord, if you can break my covenant of the day and my covenant of the night, and that there should not be a day nor night in their season, then may also my covenant be broken with David my servant, that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites, the priests, the ministers, or my ministers. All right, because now understand that we won't have sacrifice for sin in the kingdom as far as like we are concerned, because we will be without sin, right? We to make it there, you have to be keeping the commandments, right? You have to be cleansed of your sin before you can even make it to the kingdom, right? But that doesn't mean God doesn't like the sweet savor, all right? He still likes the smell of basically specific barbecue, right? Yeah, that's really all sacrifice are. It's like specific cooking instructions, all right? As the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea measured, so will I multiply the seed of David my servant and the Levites that minister unto me. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah, saying, Considerest thou not what this people have spoken, saying, The two families which the Lord hath chosen, he hath even cast them off. Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before them. Thus saith the Lord, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant. so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them. Right, again, so just prophecy of the kingdom and Christ coming out of the seed of David, going to rule in righteousness forevermore. All right. Jeremiah 34. Yeah, I'll go ahead and read this because it's pretty important. It says, the word which came unto Jeremiah from the Lord when Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army, and all the kingdoms of the earth of his dominion, and all the people fought against Jerusalem, and against all the cities thereof, saying, thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, go and speak to Zedekiah, king of Judah, and tell him, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will give this city into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall burn it with fire. And thou shalt not escape out of his hand, but shall surely be taken, and delivered into his hand, and thine eyes shall behold the eyes of the king of Babylon, and he shall speak with thee mouth to mouth, and thou shalt go to Babylon. Yet hear the word of the Lord, O Zedekiah, king of Judah. Thus saith the Lord of thee, thou shalt not die by the sword, but thou shalt die in peace, and with the burnings of thy fathers, the former kings which were before thee, so shall they burn odors for thee, and they will lament thee, saying, ah, Lord, for I have pronounced the word, saith the Lord. So keep that in mind. That's what the Most High is telling Zedekiah. He's saying, look, you'll go into captivity, but you won't be killed by Nebuchadnezzar. All right? Then Jeremiah the prophet spake all these words unto Zedekiah, king of Judah, in Jerusalem. And the king of Babylon's army fought against Jerusalem and against all the cities of Judah that were left, against Lachish and against Azekah. For these defense cities remained of the cities of Judah. This is the word that came unto Jeremiah from the Lord after the king Zedekiah had made a covenant with all the people which were at Jerusalem to proclaim liberty unto them, that every man should let his manservant and every man his maidservant, being a Hebrew or an Hebrewess, go free, that none should serve himself of them, to wit, of a Jew his brother. Now when all the princes and all the people which had entered into the covenant heard that everyone should let his manservant and everyone his maidservant go free, that none should serve themselves of them anymore, then they obeyed and let them go. You see that right there? So, hey, stop ruling over one another, right? Stop oppressing one another. That's essentially the edict, right? Stop, taking usury, ruling over one another with rigor, right? That was the edict. That was the covenant that they all agreed to. That was the agreement that all the people made, all right? But afterward they turned and caused the servants and the handmaids whom they had let go free to return, and brought them into subjection for servants and handmaids. You see that right there? So almost immediately, as soon as they had a little bit of peace, a little bit of ability to go take the people back, that's what they did, right? Therefore the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, I made a covenant with your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondmen, saying, at the end of 7 years, let ye go every man his brother, a Hebrew, which hath been sold unto thee. And when he hath served thee 6 years, thou shalt let him go free from thee. But your fathers hearkened not unto me, neither inclined their ear. Right, so that's in Leviticus 25, I think it is. All right, and ye were now turned and had done right in my sight in proclaiming liberty every man to his neighbor. And ye had made a covenant before me in the house which is called by my name. But ye turned and polluted my name, and caused every man his servant and every man his handmaid, whom ye had set at liberty at their pleasure, to return, and brought them into subjection, to be unto you for servants and handmaids. Therefore thus saith the Lord, ye have not hearkened unto me in proclaiming liberty every one to his brother, and every man to his neighbor. Behold, I proclaim a liberty for you, saith the Lord, to the sword, to the pestilence, and to the famine. And I will make you to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. You see that right there? So he said, no, y'all got to get judged now. All right? He's like, oh yeah, y'all can be free. I'll proclaim freedom to you, free to die. You're free to go into captivity. All right? And I will give the men that have transgressed my covenant, which have not performed the words of the covenant which they had made before me, when they cut the calf in twain and passed between the parts thereof, the princes of Judah and the princes of Jerusalem, the eunuchs and the priests, and all the people of the land which passed between the parts of the calf, I will even give them into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of them that seek their life, and their dead bodies shall be for meat unto the fowls of heaven, and to the beasts of the earth. And Zedekiah king of Judah and his princes will I give into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of them that seek their life, and into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which are gone up from you. Behold, I will command, saith the Lord, and cause them to return to this city. They shall fight against it, and take it, and burn it with fire. And I will make the cities of Judah a desolation without an inhabitant. All right. So he said, okay, I'm bringing the Babylonians back because y'all just immediately turn back into wickedness. All right. He said, I can't have that. I gotta bring them back on you. All right. So Zedekiah was good, as in like the Most High told him, hey, he ain't gonna kill you. All right, Nebuchadnezzar ain't gonna kill you. But then Zedekiah, what did he do? He went into further wickedness. All right. And oppressing his own people. All right. The same with all his nobles, all the rich men. We don't necessarily have to read this, but this is some heathen. I know that's like a negative connotation, but I just mean like non-Israelite people living among the Israelites. And like it goes on to say that like they where is it at here? Let's see. What's the verse I'm looking for? Because these Rechabites, here we go, verse 16, it says, because the sons of Jonadab, the son of Rechab, had performed the commandment of their father, which he commanded them, but this people had not hearkened unto me. You see that right there? So it was just an example of like the Rechabites, what did it say that they do? They lived in tents and they didn't drink wine or something along those lines. Yeah, not to drink wine. Yeah, so, and I think they lived in tents. Yeah. You shall drink no wine, not build a house or sow seed, dwell in tents. And as it says that you may live many days in a land where you be strangers, right? Because there were non-Israelites living among the Israelites, right? So they didn't want to cause any problems, really. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to like take land from the Israelites because that would have caused problems, right? So that was just like, okay, we'll dwell in tents and we won't drink wine, you know, all that kind of stuff. And the Most High said, look, they were loyal to their father, but my people have not been loyal to me, right? So that's the whole point of this being brought out here. And the Rechabites would be spared. Yeah, there you go. The Rechabites would be spared. That's pretty much that whole chapter. Jeremiah 36. So this is, as it says, in the 4th year of Jehoiakim. So we're jumping back in time, right, to Jehoiakim's reign, and talking about, you know, when Jeremiah had written the first part of his book, and Jehoiakim had like burnt it up. And it came to pass in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, that this word came unto Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, take thee a roll of a book, and write therein all the words that I have spoken unto thee against Israel, and against Judah, and against all the nations, from the day I spake unto thee, from the days of Josiah, even unto this day. It may be that the house of Judah will hear all the evil which I purpose to do unto them, that they may return every man from his evil way, that I may forgive their iniquity and their sin. Then Jeremiah called Baruch the son of Neriah, and Baruch wrote from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of the Lord, which he had spoken unto him, upon the roll of a book, or upon a roll of a book, or a scroll. And Jeremiah commanded Baruch, saying, I am shut up. I cannot go into the house of the Lord, right? Because they kicked him out. Therefore go thou and read in the roll which thou hast written from my mouth, the words of the Lord in the ears of the people in the Lord's house upon the fasting day. And also thou shalt read them in the ears of all Judah that come out of their cities. Right? So upon the fasting day, this sounds like the Day of Atonement, though it could have just been a day where a fast was proclaimed, just a general fast instead of the fast. Let's see. It said Baruch did that thing. Let's see. Yeah, in the 5th year of Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, king of Judah, in the 9th month, they proclaimed a fast before the Lord. before the Lord to all the people in Jerusalem. All right, so that's the fast. It's not um that would be like around like November time. It's not Day of Atonement. All right, it's a different fast. Um, so yeah, it says Baruch did that thing. All right. It says then Micaiah the son of Gemariah. Then Micaiah declared unto them all the words that he had heard when Baruch read the book in the ears of the people. Therefore, all the princes sent Jehudi, the son of Nethaniah, the son of Shelemiah, the son of Cushi, unto Baruch, saying, take in thy hand the roll wherein thou hast read in the ears of the people, and come. So Baruch, the son of Neriah, took the roll in his hand and came unto them. They said unto him, sit down now and read it in our ears. So Baruch read it in their ears. Now it came to pass, when they had heard all the words, that they were afraid both one and another, and said unto Baruch, we will surely tell the king of all these words. And they asked Baruch, saying, tell us now, how did you write all these words at his mouth? Then Baruch answered them, he pronounced all these words unto me with his mouth, and I wrote them with ink in the book. Right? So he's like, hey, basically, I just wrote down everything Jeremiah said. Then said the princes unto Baruch, go hide thee, thou and Jeremiah, and let no man know where ye be. Right? So go into hiding. They went in to the king into the court, but they laid up the roll in the chamber of Elishama, the scribe, and told all the words in the ears of the king. So the king sent Jehudi to fetch the roll, and he took it out of Elishama, the scribe's chamber. Jehudi read it in the ears of the king and in the ears of all the princes which stood beside the king. Now the king sat in the winter house in the 9th month, and there was a fire on the hearth burning before him. And it came to pass that when Jehudi had read 3 or 4 leaves, he cut it with the penknife and cast it into the fire that was on the hearth until all the roll was consumed in the fire that was on the hearth. Right? So they burnt it. They burnt the word of the Lord from the mouth of Jeremiah. Yet they were not afraid, nor rent their garments, neither the king nor any of his servants that heard all these words. Nevertheless, Elnathan and Delaiah and Gemariah had made intercession to the king that he would not burn the roll, but he would not hear them. But the king commanded Jeremiel, son of Hamelech, and Sariah, the son of Azriel, and Shelemiah, the son of Abdil, to take Baruch, the scribe, and Jeremiah the prophet, but the Lord hid them. You say right there. So they were already in hiding at that point. The king wanted to kill him, as he did Uriah the prophet. We read about that a couple weeks ago. But they were in hiding. All right. Then the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah after the king had burned the roll, and the words which Baruch wrote at the mouth of Jeremiah, saying, take thee again another roll, and write in it all the former words that were in the first roll, which Jehoiakim the king of Judah hath burned. And thou shalt say to Jehoiakim king of Judah, thus saith the Lord, thou hast burned this roll, saying, why hast thou written therein, saying, the king of Babylon shall certainly come and destroy this land, and shall cause to cease from thence man and beast. Therefore thus saith the Lord of Jehoiakim king of Judah, he shall have none to sit upon the throne of David, and his dead body shall be cast out in the day to the heat, and in the night to the frost. And I will punish him and his seed and his servants for their iniquity. And I will bring upon them and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem and upon the men of Judah all the evil that I have pronounced against them, but they hearkened not. Right? So he said, look, your seed's not going to reign in Judah no more. And you had Coniah reign for like 3 months, and then he was gone. Right? And then it was Zedekiah, who was actually the brother of Jehoiakim. All right? Then took Jeremiah another roll and gave it to Baruch the scribe, the son of Neriah, who wrote therein from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of the book which Jehoiakim king of Judah had burned in the fire. And there were added besides unto them many like words. Right? So all the stuff that came later as well. All right? Because he started prophesying, if y'all can recall, he started prophesying during the reign of Josiah. All right? And most of Jeremiah actually comes after this point. Right? So as I said, many like words. All right. So let's keep going. There's a warning to Zedekiah. All right. Yeah. So he talks about this. This is at the time that. It said, when the Chaldeans that besieged Jerusalem heard tidings of them, they departed from Jerusalem, right? So the Chaldeans, the Babylonians, they came up to the land of Judah. But here come Egypt, right? And they kind of scared them off a bit. All right. But it said, behold, Pharaoh's army, which has come forth to help you, shall return to Egypt into their own land, and the Chaldeans shall come again and fight against the city and take it and burn it with fire. Right? So he's telling Zedekiah, hey, look, that ain't the end of it. It may look like the end right now, but it's not. And the Chaldeans are going to come back. All right? It said, and burn this city with fire. All right? And it came to pass that when the army of the Chaldeans was broken up from Jerusalem for fear of Pharaoh's army, then Jeremiah went forth out of Jerusalem to go into the land of Benjamin, to separate himself thence in the midst of the people. And when he was in the gate of Benjamin, a captain of the ward was there, right? So like a prison guard, whose name was Uriah, the son of Shelemiah, the son of Hananiah. And he took Jeremiah the prophet, saying, thou fallest away to the Chaldeans. Then said Jeremiah, it is false. I fall not away to the Chaldeans. But he hearkened not to him, right? So just a blatant false accusation. No proof, no evidence. He just sees Jeremiah's leaving, and he's like, oh, you're running after the Chaldeans. So Uriah took Jeremiah and brought him to the princes. Wherefore the princes were wroth with Jeremiah, and smote him, and put him in prison in the house of Jonathan the scribe, for they had made that the prison. All right, so when Jeremiah was entered into the dungeon and into the cabins, and Jeremiah had remained there, when Jeremiah was entered into the dungeon and into the cabins, and Jeremiah had remained there many days. Yeah, it's worded weirdly, but Jeremiah is in prison. We see that right there. He's locked up. Then Zedekiah the king sent and took him out, and the king asked him secretly in his house and said, is there any word from the Lord? And Jeremiah said, there is. For said he, thou shalt be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto King Zedekiah, what have I offended against thee, or against thy servants, or against his people, that ye have put me in prison? Where are now your prophets which prophesied unto you, saying, the king of Babylon shall not come against you, nor against this land? Therefore hear now, I pray thee, O my lord the king, let my supplication, I pray thee, be accepted before thee, that thou cause me not to return to the house of Jonathan the scribe, lest I die there. Right? So he said, you're the king, you have power to free me, release me from prison. Where's all your false prophets saying that the king of Babylon wasn't going to come here? Then Zedekiah the king commanded that they should commit Jeremiah into the court of the prison, and that they should give him daily a piece of bread out of the baker's street, until all the bread in the city were spent. Thus Jeremiah remained in the court of the prison. You see that right there. So he's still locked up. King Zedekiah could have released him, could have freed him, but he didn't. All right. You have even more persecution here. All right. Yeah, so it says Shephatiah heard him, Gedaliah heard, Pashur heard, Jukal heard, talking about how the Babylonians will come. Thus saith the Lord, this city shall surely be given into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which shall take it. Therefore the princes said unto the king, we beseech thee, let this man be put to death. Right, so they're trying to kill Jeremiah. For thus he weakeneth the hands of the men of war that remain in this city, and the hands of all the people, in speaking such words unto them. For this man seeketh not the welfare of this people, but the hurt. All right, so they said, look, he's not giving us encouraging words. He's pessimistic, right? That's what they're saying. Then Zedekiah the king said, behold, he is in your hand, for the king is not he that can do anything against you, which is weak and foolish, first of all, because he's coming against the prophet of the Lord. But just weak as hell. The king can do whatever he wants to do, right? That's basically the definition of a king. All right. Then took they Jeremiah and cast him into the dungeon of Malchiah the son of Hamelech, that was in the court of the prison. And they let down Jeremiah with cords, and in the dungeon there was no water but mire. So Jeremiah sunk in the mire. All right, so I guess they put him down in a well. It says cistern up here, but I don't know. It sounds more like a well. All right. Now when Ebed Melech, the Ethiopian, one of the eunuchs which was in the king's house, heard that they put Jeremiah in the dungeon. The king then sitting in the gate of Benjamin, Ebed Melech, went forth out of the king's house and spake to the king, saying, My lord the king, these men have done evil in all that they have done to Jeremiah the prophet, whom they have cast into the dungeon, and he is like to die for hunger in the place where he is, for there is no more bread in the city. Then the king commanded Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian, saying, Take from hence 30 men with thee, and take up Jeremiah the prophet out of the dungeon before he die. So Ebed-Melech took the men with him, and went into the house of the king under the treasury, and took thence old cast clouts and old rotten rags, and let them down by cords into the dungeon to Jeremiah. And Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian said to Jeremiah, Put now these old cast clouts and rotten rags under thine armholes, under the cords. And Jeremiah did so. So they drew up Jeremiah with cords and took him up out of the dungeon, and Jeremiah remained in the court of the prison. Right, he wasn't thrown down the well, or the dungeon, as it was saying there. All right. Then Zedekiah the king sent and took Jeremiah the prophet unto him into the third entry that is in the house of the Lord. And the king said unto Jeremiah, I will ask thee a thing, hide nothing from me. Then Jeremiah said unto Zedekiah, If I declare it unto thee, wilt thou not surely put me to death? And if I give thee counsel, wilt thou not hearken unto me? He said, Look, I've been burnt many times before by you, Zedekiah. I know how this goes. So Zedekiah the king sware secretly unto Jeremiah, saying, As the Lord liveth, that made us this soul, I will not put thee to death. Neither will I give thee into the hand of these men that seek thy life. Right? So he said, No, I'm for real this time. Then said Jeremiah unto Zedekiah, Thus saith the Lord, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, If thou wilt assuredly go forth unto the king of Babylon's princes, then thy soul shall live, and this city shall not be burned with fire, and thou shalt live and thy house. Right? So he said, Look, go out there and make peace. Go in there and bow down to Nebuchadnezzar. Right? Because Nebuchadnezzar, as we read, I guess it was a couple weeks ago, when Jeremiah had made the symbolism of the yoke. He sent it out to all the kings of the countries and said, Look, if you bow down to Nebuchadnezzar, if you serve him, you'll live. If you try to go against him, you'll die. Right? It's basically the same message. But if thou wilt not go forth to the king of Babylon's princes, then shall this city be given into the hand of the Chaldeans, and they shall burn it with fire, and thou shalt not escape out of their hand. And Zedekiah the king said unto Jeremiah, I am afraid of the Jews that are fallen to the Chaldeans, lest they deliver me into their hand, and they mock me. Weak. Zedekiah, weak as hell. All right. But Jeremiah said, They shall not deliver thee. Obey, I beseech thee, the voice of the Lord, which I speak unto thee. So it shall be well unto thee, and thy soul shall live. But if thou refuse to go forth, this is the word that the Lord has showed me. And behold, all the women that are left in the king of Judah's house shall be brought forth to the king of Babylon's princes, and those women shall say, Thy friends have set thee on, and have prevailed against thee. Thy feet are sunk in the mire, and they are turned away back. So they shall bring out all thy wives and thy children to the Chaldeans, and thou shalt not escape out of their hand, but shall be taken by the hand of the king of Babylon, and thou shalt cause this city to be burned with fire. Then said Zedekiah unto Jeremiah, Let no man know of these words, and thou shalt not die. But if the princes hear that I have talked with thee, they come unto thee and say unto thee, Declare unto us now what thou hast said unto the king, hide it not from us, and we will not put thee to death. Also what the king said unto thee, then thou shalt say unto them, I presented my supplication before the king, that he would not cause me to return to Jonathan's house to die there. Then came all the princes unto Jeremiah and asked him, and he told them according to all these words that the king had commanded. Right, so Zedekiah knew that they was going to come ask him, Hey, what was y'all talking about? What did the king say to you? So Jeremiah had to tell him that little lie there that Zedekiah had made for him. So they left off speaking with him, for the matter was not perceived. So Jeremiah abode in the court of the prison until the day that Jerusalem was taken, and he was there when Jerusalem was taken. Right, so that's key context there. Right, that Jeremiah didn't die when Jerusalem was taken because he was there as a prisoner. Right, he was there in prison. Right. So when the Babylonians came, and we're about to read it. When the Babylonians came, they didn't kill everyone. They left some people. They didn't take everybody into captivity. They left some people in the land and said, Hey, look, y'all take care of this land. We'll come back to check on y'all. All right, essentially. All right. So it's the fall of Jerusalem. Yeah, it's 18 verses. I might read all this chapter. In the 9th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, in the 10th month, came Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army against Jerusalem, and they besieged it. Right. So this is the fall of Jerusalem, as it says right here. This happened in about, I think it was like 586 BC, somewhere around in there. And in the 11th year of Zedekiah, and in the 4th month, or in the 9th year of Zedekiah, that would be like 587, somewhere around in there. They besieged it, and in the 11th year of Zedekiah, in the 4th month, the 9th day of the month, the city was broken up. And all the princes of the king of Babylon came in and sat in the middle gate, even Nergal-Sharezer, Sem-Gar-Nebo, all these Babylonian names. I'm sorry, I can't be bothered. Y'all know these are Babylonian princes. Y'all can read that on your own time. This is Jeremiah 39 and 3. I'm not reading all those Babylonian names. It doesn't really matter. Those are Babylonian princes. All right. Verse 4. And it came to pass that when Zedekiah, king of Judah, saw them and all the men of war, then they fled and went forth out of the city by night by the way of the king's garden, by the gate betwixt the two walls. And he went out of the way of the plain. But the Chaldeans' army pursued after them and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. And when they had taken him, they brought him up to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, to Riblah in the land of Hamath, where he gave judgment upon him. And then the king of Babylon slew the sons of Zedekiah and Riblah before his eyes. Also the king of Babylon slew all the nobles of Judah. Moreover, he put out Zedekiah's eyes and bound him with chains to carry him to Babylon. And the Chaldeans burned the king's house and the houses of the people with fire and break down the walls of Jerusalem. Then Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried away captive into Babylon the remnant of the people that remained in the city, and those that fell away, that fell to him, with the rest of the people that remained. But Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, left of the poor of the people, which had nothing, in the land of Judah, and gave them vineyards and fields at the same time. You see that right there. So you can't really take something away from somebody who don't have anything, right? So the Babylonians weren't really concerned with the people who didn't have anything, like Jeremiah, who was in prison, right? He said, hey, watch these vineyards and fields while we're taking these people. We'll come back to check on you. All right. Now, Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, gave charge concerning Jeremiah to Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, saying, take him and look well to him, and do him no harm, but unto him even as he shall say unto thee. So Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, sent, and Nebuchadnezzar, Rabsaris, and Nergal-Sharezer, Rabmag, and all the king of Babylon's princes. Even they sent and took Jeremiah out of the court of the prison and committed him unto Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, that he should carry him home. So he dwelt among the people. Right. So the poor of the people remained with Jeremiah as well. And I'm pretty sure Habakkuk was in that bunch as well when you read the Apocrypha. And I think it's Bel and the Dragon. Yeah, I think it's Bel and the Dragon. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah while he was shut up in the court of the prison, saying, go and speak to Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will bring my words upon the city for evil and not for good. And they shall be accomplished in that day before thee. But I will deliver thee in that day, saith the Lord, and thou shalt not be given into the hand of the men of whom thou art afraid. For I will surely deliver thee, and thou shalt not fall by the sword. But thy life shall be for a prey unto thee, because thou hast put thy trust in me, saith the Lord. Right? So, even to Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian, the Lord said, I would preserve you because you put your trust in me. All right. Let's keep reading. It says the word, this is chapter 40, starting with verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, after that Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, had let him go from Ramah, when he had taken him, being bound in chains among all that were carried away captive of Jerusalem and Judah, which were carried away captive unto Babylon. And the captain of the guard took Jeremiah and said unto him, the Lord thy God hath pronounced this evil upon this place. Now the Lord hath brought it, and done according as he hath said, because ye have sinned against the Lord, and have not obeyed his voice. Therefore this thing is come upon you. All right. So they knew. They knew what was going on. And now behold, I loose thee this day from the chains which were upon thy hand. If it seem good unto thee to come with me to Babylon, come, and I will look well unto thee. But if it seem ill unto thee to come with me into Babylon, forbear. Behold, all the land is before thee. Whether it seemeth good and convenient for thee to go, thither go. Now, while he was not yet gone back, he said, go back also to Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, whom the king of Babylon hath made governor over the cities of Judah, and dwell with him among the people, or go wheresoever it seemeth convenient unto thee to go. So the captain of the guard gave him victuals and a reward, and let him go. Then went Jeremiah unto Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, to Mizpah, and dwelt with him among the people that were left in the land. Right, so Jeremiah stayed with the people that were left, with the poor of the land. Now when all the captains of the forces which were in the fields, even they and their men, heard that the king of Babylon had made Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, governor in the land, and had committed unto him men, women, children, and of the poor of the land, of them that were not carried away captive to Babylon, then they came to Gedaliah, to Mizpah, even Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, and Johanan, and Jonathan, the sons of Kareah, and Sariah, I think that's Sariah, the son of Tanhumeth, and the sons of Ephi, the Netophathite. I think that's how you pronounce that. And Jezaniah, the son of Maakathite, they and their men. Right? So you had all these men that were left that Babylon didn't take into captivity. All right? Led by Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, and Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, son of Shaphan, sware unto them and to their men, saying, fear not to serve the Chaldeans, dwell in the land, and serve the king of Babylon, and it shall be well with you. As for me, behold, I will dwell in Mizpah to serve the Chaldeans, which will come unto us, but ye gather ye wine and summer fruits and oil, and put them in your vessels, and dwell in your cities that ye have taken. Right? So he said, hey, just chill here in the land. Don't refuse to serve the Chaldeans, right? Because they're ruling over everything right now. So serve them. Likewise, when all the Jews that were in Moab and among the Ammonites and in Edom that were in all the countries heard that the king of Babylon had left a remnant of Judah, and that he had set over them Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, even all the Jews returned out of all the places whither they were driven, and came to the land of Judah, to Gedaliah, to Mizpah, and gathered wine and summer fruits very much. Right? So you had those Israelites who had fled the land for whatever reason, those dispersed in the general region, came back. All right, they said, okay, there's a remnant that was left. Okay, we can go back to the land. Moreover, Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces that were in the fields came to Gedaliah to Mizpah, and said unto him, dost thou certainly know that Baalis, the king of the Ammonites, has sent Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, to slay thee? But Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, believed them not. You see that right there? So you got people trying to warn Gedaliah, telling him that, hey, Ishmael trying to kill you, right? The king of Ammon has sent him to kill you, right? Gedaliah's like, nah, he wouldn't do that. Ishmael's my boy. We good friends. We go way back. All right. Then Johanan, the son of Kareah, spake to Gedaliah in Mizpah secretly, saying, let me go, I pray thee, and I will slay Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, and no man shall know it. Wherefore should he slay thee, that all the Jews which are gathered unto thee should be scattered, and the remnant in Judah perish? But Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, said to Johanan, the son of Kareah, thou shalt not do this thing, for thou speakest falsely of Ishmael. He's like, no, Ishmael wouldn't do that. Not Nethaniah's boy. Now it came to pass in the 7th month that Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, the son of Elishama of the seed royal, and the princes of the king, even 10 men with him, came unto Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, to Mizpah, and there they did eat bread together in Mizpah. Then arose Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, and the 10 men that were with him, and smote Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, with the sword, and slew him, whom the king of Babylon had made governor over the land. So you had people trying to warn Gedaliah. No, that ain't true. No. He wouldn't do that. And what happened? He did that. Ishmael also slew all the Jews that were with him, even with Gedaliah at Mizpah, and the Chaldeans that were found there, and the men of war. Right? Ishmael's basically trying to take the kingdom back here. All right? He said, I'm not under these Babylonians. I'm of the seed royal. I'm the new king. That's basically what he's doing. All right? It came to pass the second day after he had slain Gedaliah, and no man knew it, that there came certain from Shechem, from Shiloh, and from Samaria, even 80, even 80 men, having their beards shaven and their clothes rent, and having cut themselves with offerings and incense in their hand, to bring them to the house of the Lord. And Ishmael the son of Nethaniah went forth from Mizpah to meet them, weeping all along as he went. And it came to pass, as he met them, he said unto them, Come to Gedaliah the son of Ahikam. And it was so, when they came into the midst of the city, that Ishmael the son of Nethaniah slew them, and cast them into the midst of the pit, he and the men that were with him. But 10 men were found among them that said unto Ishmael, Slay us not, for we have treasures in the field, of wheat and of barley and of oil and of honey. So he forbear and slew them not among their brethren. You see that right there. So they just killing everybody that's coming through. All right, just evil and wickedness. Now the pit wherein Ishmael had cast all the dead bodies of the men whom he had slain because of Gedaliah was it which Asa the king had made for fear of Baasha king of Israel. And Ishmael the son of Nethaniah filled it with them that were slain. Asa, when you read the Kings, you can probably read it in the Chronicles as well. But Asa and King Baasha, right? That's Judah. Asa being the king in Judah, Baasha being the king in Israel. Clearly, they were warring like all throughout Asa's reign, or all throughout Baasha's reign, I should say, because Asa reigned for a long time, longer than Baasha did. All right. Then Ishmael carried away captive all the residue of the people that were in Mizpah, even the king's daughters, and all the people that remained in Mizpah, whom Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, had committed to Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam. And Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, carried them away captive and departed to go over to the Ammonites. Right? So, took the people into captivity, took the people as slaves. But when Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces that were with him heard of all the evil that Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, had done, then they took all the men and went to fight with Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, and found him by the great waters that are in Gibeon. Now it came to pass that when all the people which were with Ishmael saw Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces that were with him, then they were glad. So all the people that Ishmael had carried away captive from Mizpah cast about and returned, and went unto Johanan. This is John. That's the Hebrew name for John, by the way. Is Johanan. So that's why I keep stumbling over it. I'm also trying to say Jonathan as well. So, y'all forgive me. But Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, escaped from Johanan with 8 men and went to the Ammonites. Then took Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces that were with him, all the remnant of the people whom he had recovered from Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, from Mizpah. After that, he had slain Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, even mighty men of war, and women and children and eunuchs whom he had brought again from Gibeon. And they departed and dwelt in the habitation of Chimham, which is by Bethlehem, to go to enter into Egypt, right? So you thought Johanan was like, or at least when I first read this, I was like, oh, Johanan, he's the good guy. He's going to, take the people back to Mizpah. They're going to chill. They're going to, serve the Babylonians as Gedaliah would have wanted them to do. Nah. He said, no, we fleeing into Egypt. He said, no, we ain't staying up under these Chaldeans. Because the Chaldeans, for they were afraid of them. Because Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, had slain Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, whom the king of Babylon made governor in the land. So all this, it's very reminiscent of like the Northern Kingdom time of the kings. All right, it's very reminiscent of just like jockeying for position, jockeying for power, Game of Thrones type crap. All right, that's what you read about when you read about the Northern Kingdom kings. Then all the captains of the forces, and Johanan, son of Kareah, and Jezaniah, the son of Hoshea, and all the people from the least, even unto the greatest, came near, and said unto Jeremiah the prophet, Let, we beseech thee, our supplication be accepted before thee, and pray for us unto the Lord thy God, even for all this remnant. For we are left but a few of many, as thine eyes do behold us, that the Lord thy God may show us the way wherein we may walk, and the thing that we may do. Then Jeremiah the prophet said unto them, I have heard you. Behold, I will pray unto the Lord your God according to your words, and it shall come to pass that whatsoever thing the Lord shall answer you, I will declare it unto you. I will keep nothing back from you. Then they said to Jeremiah, the Lord be a true and faithful witness between us, if we do not even according to all things for the which the Lord thy God shall send thee to us, whether it be good or whether it be evil. We will obey the voice of the Lord our God to whom he send thee, that it may be well with us when we obey the voice of the Lord our God. Right? So they come to Jeremiah saying, what does God want us to do? Whatever he wants us to do, we're going to do it. And it came to pass after 10 days that the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah. Then called he Johanan the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces that were with him, and all the people from the least even to the greatest, and said unto them, thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, unto whom ye sent me to present your supplication before him, if ye will still abide in this land, then will I build you and not pull you down, and I will plant you and not pluck you up. For I repent me of the evil that I have done unto you. Be not afraid of the king of Babylon, of whom ye are afraid. Be not afraid of him, saith the Lord. For I am with you to save you and to deliver you from his hand. You see that right there? So the Most High is telling him, stay in the land. All right, don't worry about the Babylonians. All right, I've spared you for a reason. Stay in the land. And I will show mercies unto you, that he may have mercy upon you, and cause you to return to your own land. But if ye say, we will not dwell in this land, neither obey the voice of the Lord your God, saying, no, but we will go into the land of Egypt, where we shall see no war, nor hear the sound of the trumpet, nor have hunger of bread, and there will we dwell. And now therefore hear the word of the Lord, ye remnant of Judah. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, if ye wholly set your faces to enter into Egypt, and go to sojourn there, wholly as in completely, all right? If you completely have a mind in you to go to Egypt, then it shall come to pass that the sword which ye feared shall overtake you there in the land of Egypt, and the famine whereof you are afraid shall follow close after you there in Egypt, and there ye shall die. So shall it be with all the men that set their faces to go into Egypt to sojourn there. They shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, and none of them shall remain or escape from the evil that I will bring upon them. Right? So he said, if you stay in the land, you'll be spared. But if you decide you want to go into Egypt, then guess what? Judgment is going to come upon you in Egypt, because Nebuchadnezzar's not done. He's going to go take Egypt as well. All right? For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, as mine anger and my fury have been poured forth upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, so shall my fury be poured forth upon you when ye shall enter into Egypt, and ye shall be in execration. Dang, what is that word? I don't even know what that means. Like excrement? What is execration? What is this word? It's cursing or denouncing. All right, you'll be a curse. That makes sense. And ye shall be an execration and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach. And ye shall see this place no more. The Lord had said concerning you, O ye remnant of Judah, go ye not into Egypt. Know certainly that I have admonished you this day, for ye dissembled in your hearts when ye sent me unto the Lord your God, saying, pray for us unto the Lord our God, and according unto all that the Lord our God shall say, so declare unto us, and we will do it. Right? So this is Jeremiah. He said, look, this is what God said. I deliver what God said to you because that's what y'all asked. All right? Don't go into Egypt. All right? And now I have this day declared it to you, but ye have not obeyed the voice of the Lord your God, nor anything for the which he hath sent me unto you. Now therefore know certainly that ye shall die by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence, in the place where ye desire to go into sojourn. Right? So he said, you're going against God by going into Egypt. All right? And it came to pass that when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking unto all the people all the words of the Lord their God, for which the Lord their God had sent him to them, even all these words, Then spake Azariah, the son of Hoshea, and Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the proud men, saying unto Jeremiah, Thou speakest falsely. They were the ones who come to Jeremiah, saying, "Hey, speak to God for us and see what directions He gives us." But they already had it in their hearts and in their minds to go into Egypt. All right, that they were already packing, so to speak. They were getting ready to go. They didn't care what God had to say about it. The Lord our God had not sent thee to say, "Go not into." Oh man, they said to Jeremiah, "Thou speakest falsely. The Lord our God hath not sent thee to say, Go not into Egypt to sojourn there. But Baruch, the son of Neriah, setteth thee on against us, for to deliver us into the hand of the Chaldeans, that they might put us to death and carry us away captives into Babylon." What? Man, Baruch got to be feeling like that 50 Cent meme, you know? What does he have me for? Oh, man. Like, for no reason, they're just, like, throwing Baruch's name into it. Anyway. So, John, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces and all the people obeyed not the voice of the Lord to dwell in the land of Judah. But Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces took all the remnant of Judah that were returned from all nations, whither they had been driven, to dwell in the land of Judah, even men and women and children and the king's daughters, and every person that Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, had left with Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, and Jeremiah the prophet, and Baruch, the son of Neriah. So they came into the land of Egypt, for they obeyed not the voice of the Lord. Thus came they even to Tahpanhes. All right, so truly at this point, or at least when Nebuchadnezzar's forces come into Egypt to overthrow the land of Egypt, then that prophecy of the land will be desolate, what was fulfilled. All right, and the land shall enjoy her Sabbaths. Right, so it all had to happen, but it's just frustrating to see. Hey, go talk to God. Go talk to God for us. See what He has in store for us. And then Jeremiah tells them, and they're like, No, He didn't tell you to say that. It's silly. Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah in Tahpanhes, saying, Take great stones in thy hand, and hide them in the clay in the brick kiln, which is at the entry of Pharaoh's house in Tahpanhes, in the sight of the men of Judah. And say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will send and take Nebuchadrezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will set his throne upon these stones that I have hid. And he shall spread his royal pavilion over them. And when he cometh, he shall smite the land of Egypt, and deliver such as are for death to death, and such as are for captivity to captivity, and such as are for the sword to the sword. And I will kindle a fire in the houses of the gods of Egypt, and he shall burn them, and carry them away captives. And he shall array himself in the land of Egypt as a shepherd putteth on his garment, and he shall go forth from thence in peace. He shall break also the images of Beth-Shemesh that is in the land of Egypt, and the houses of the gods of the Egyptians shall he burn with fire. Right. So the Lord declared it. That's what happened. People try to say that it didn't happen, but it happened. All right. Let's see. So this is just Jeremiah coming to the Jews in Egypt again, coming to the children of Judah in Egypt, and they talk about how they're serving Isis now. They're worshiping Isis now. All right, talking about the Queen of Heaven. Right, they're worshiping the Queen of Heaven now. All right. So with that, he said, Behold, I will give Pharaoh Hophra, king of Egypt, into the hand of his enemies, and into the hand of them that seek his life, as I gave Zedekiah, king of Judah, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, his enemy, and that sought his life. Right, so and the rest of the book of Jeremiah is chapter 45. I can read chapter 45 real quick. It's short, but I'll go ahead and read this, and then I'll wrap it up. The word that Jeremiah the prophet spake unto Baruch the son of Neriah, when he had written these words in a book at the mouth of Jeremiah in the 4th year of Jehoiakim the son of Josiah king of Judah, saying, again, so we're going back to that which we read earlier, in chapter 32 30. Yeah, I think. Chapter 32. Thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, unto thee, O Baruch, thou didst say, woe is me now, for the Lord hath added grief to my sorrow. I fainted in my sighing, and I find no rest. Thus shalt thou say unto him, the Lord saith thus, behold, that which I have built will I break down, and that which I have planted I will pluck up, even this whole land. And seekest thou great things for thyself? Seek them not. For behold, I will bring evil upon all flesh, saith the Lord. But thy life will I give unto thee for a prey in all places whither thou goest. All right, so he said, Baruch, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, Baruch. All right, Most High said, look, the same way it ain't easy for me to destroy my people and my land. Guess what? It is what it is, Baruch. So yeah, this is just judgment on the different nations. Jeremiah 46 talking about, as it says, judgment on Egypt. Starting with verse 1 here. So this is the whole rest of the book of Jeremiah, basically, is summed up in this verse. Well, the word of the Lord which came to Jeremiah the prophet against the Gentiles, right? So against the nations, it starts off with Egypt, all right? Pretty sure that this whole chapter is about Egypt. Yeah, the whole chapter is about Egypt. The next chapter is about the Philistines. Then there's this whole chapter as well. Yeah. Then it goes on to be about Moab, and the next chapter after that is about Ammon and Edom, and I think also Koresh and Hazor. Is that, which would be like Canaanite cities? Well, no, actually, there would be Syrian cities, right? Old Damascus and Hamath. Yeah, Kedar and Hazor. Okay. And then on Elam as well. Okay. On the Persians. Which in the modern day, Elam would be Iran. And that's the thing about all these prophetic chapters is that, yeah, it's talking about historically when Nebuchadnezzar came, but it's also, can apply to last days as well, depending on the verse. I'm not saying all of it will, but a lot of it will, though. This and said, judgment on Babylon, hope for Israel and Judah. Jeremiah 50 and... I feel like there's a certain verse here that I remember. No, maybe I'm thinking of 51. I do like this verse though. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek the Lord their God. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. A perpetual covenant, an everlasting covenant, a new covenant. All right. Let's see. Let's see. It says, Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, said the Lord. All right. So yeah, of course, it's talking about ancient Babylon, but also Babylon the Great. All right. Anything else here that I want to use here? That I want to get? Not necessarily. 15 and 33 and 34. It says, thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go, even unto this day. Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. All right. Sword is upon the Chaldeans. All right. And this is definitely talking about Babylon the Great, because it can't be talking about ancient Babylon. It says, as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof. How did God overthrow Sodom and Gomorrah with the neighbor cities thereof? with fire from the sky. All right, saith the Lord. So shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. That's not ancient Babylon, because people are living in Kuwait to this day. All right. So this is talking about Babylon the Great. All right, what we now call America or the United States. All right. Jeremiah 51, as it says right here, severe judgment against Babylon. That is what it's talking about. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Jeremiah 51:6. This is what I thought was in the last chapter, but it's right here in Jeremiah 51:6. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon. Does that mean we got to leave the states? It says, and deliver every man his soul. Right? So, as it says in Revelation 18, it says, come out from among her, be ye separate, that you be not partakers of her sins. Right? It's not saying you have to physically leave, but you certainly got to leave in soul. You got to leave in spirit. As in, you got to come out the mindsets, come out the sins of this place. Be not cut off in her iniquity. Right? Same thing as Revelation 18 say. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. All right. All right. Let's see. So, talking about all the gods of the nations are idols, but verse 19, it says, the portion of Jacob is not like them. Right? So, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is not like any other God, for he is the former of all things. Right? He's the creator. And Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Right? So it said Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Right? The rod, like when you read like Revelation 2, for example, or like Psalms 2, when Christ is given power from God, that ruling with a rod of iron, he breaks them like the potter's vessel, broken into shivers. Right? Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. All right. There you go. So the Most High is going to use his people to rule over the nations, right? To implement his laws all over the world. All right. You see that in Revelation 22. You see that in Isaiah 60. So yeah, this is something you can read on your own time. I guess as it says, this is instructions that Jeremiah commanded Sariah. Or Sariah. And it shall be, when thou hast made an end of reading this book, that thou shalt bind a stone to it and cast it into the midst of Euphrates, and thou shalt say, thus shall Babylon sink, and shall not rise from the evil that I will bring upon her, and they shall be weary. Thus far are the words of Jeremiah. All right, so that's pretty much where it ends off. In chapter 52, it just kind of recaps the history of the fall of Jerusalem, which was recorded in chapter 39. So it talks about what happened with Zedekiah. It said, the king of Babylon slew the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes. He slew also all the princes of Judah and Riblah. Then he put out the eyes of Zedekiah, and the king of Babylon bound him in chains and carried him to Babylon and put him in prison till the day of his death. Right, so he really got messed up, and he had a chance to live in peace. Right, Jeremiah gave him plenty of opportunities. Really, the Most High gave him plenty of opportunities, but at the mouth of Jeremiah. Right. So this pretty much records the same history as the Chronicles and the Kings. It references the Psalms, but that's when it's prophesied. It's recorded in the Chronicles and the Kings. All right. So they break down the walls of Jerusalem. All right. It says, but there was a residue of the people that remained in the city. We had read about that earlier. All right, for vine dressers and husbandmen, right, working the fields, working the vineyards. All right. And so they took all the brass. All right, they took all the brass. They took the gold. They took it says that which was of gold and gold, that which was of silver and silver. Took the captain of the guard away. Right, they took everything. Took everything about the temple. Burned the temple down. Burned the city down. Right. Then you have, as I said, captives carried to Babylon. All right. And it came to pass, I'll read this just to close it out. And it came to pass in the 37th year of the captivity of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, in the 12th month, in the 25th day of the month, that Evil-Merodach, king of Babylon, in the first year of his reign, lifted up the head of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, and brought him forth out of prison, and spake kindly unto him, and set his throne above the throne of the kings that were with him in Babylon, and changed his prison garments, and he did continually eat bread before him all the days of his life. Right, so Jeconiah was shown mercy by Merodach, by Evil-Merodach. And for his diet, there was a continual diet given him of the king of Babylon, every day a portion until the day of his death, all the days of his life. Right, so Jeconiah got a little bit of mercy there at the end. But with all that being said, I may start Ezekiel next week. I may do something else before then. I guess we'll see. Lord's will. In Mark 14, I'll go ahead and close it out with a benediction. I hope y'all learned something. I know I kind of jumped around this week, and it was a lot more like history, but I do feel it's important because a lot of that history was not covered in like when you read like the books of the Kings or the Chronicles or Ezra and Nehemiah. It's really only recorded in Jeremiah when it comes to like all that situation with Gedaliah and Ishmael and Johanan, all of that, plus Jeremiah being bound in prison. I didn't want to skip over that. So Mark 14, I'm going to start with verse 3. And being in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, as he sat at meat, there came a woman having an alabaster box of ointment of spikenard, very precious. Let she break the box and pour it on his head. And there were some that had indignation within themselves and said, why was this waste of the ointment made? For it might have been sold for more than 300 pence and have been given to the poor. And they murmured against her. And Jesus said, let her alone, why trouble ye her? She hath wrought a good work on me. For ye have the poor with you always, and whensoever you will, you may do them good. But me ye have not always. She hath done what she could. She has come beforehand to anoint my body to the burying. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole world, this also that she hath done shall be spoken of for a memorial of her. So all praise to the Most High for that sister doing a wonderful thing for our Lord. I believe the sister's name was Mary. It says that in John 12. So with all that being said, I'm going to say shalom. Hope y'all learned something. And let God be magnified.